Okay, so divergent thinking, right? That's a lot of big word, but let's break it down. Let's bring it home. Divergent thinking means looking at a problem in many different ways. Not thinking in a particular way, but looking at every angle of a specific problem. It's about finding a lot of ideas, about a problem, not just one answer. Okay? The good thing about thinking divergently is that it helps you to see new paths. It helps you to think outside of the box. It helps you to create solutions that other people might not see. And even when things seem very dry and hard, it helps you to see opportunities in that problem. Have you ever heard about this phrase that it's when things are very bad, that some people make money? Okay, I'm sure you've heard about it. Now, how can we think in a way that allows us to build wealth while we grow deeper in Christ? The truth is that we must think divergently. We must break free from fear and limited thinking. Limited thinking like, no, it's not possible. In fact, when you begin to think divergently, you begin to see that vocabulary is like, I cannot, is not. Begin to leave your vocabulary. You don't talk like that. You don't think like that. Rather, you are thinking of, okay, even if I cannot achieve it, how can I make this happen? How can I do this? You keep looking for every angle, to make it work. Remember that Bible verse that says that God, it says, I will make a way. That's in Isaiah. It says, I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the deserts. That's God asking us to think outside of the box. Yes, it's a desert. Yes, there is no possibility of water, but God is still able to make rivers in a desert. Our God is a divergent thinker. Now, how do you think divergently? Number one is that you have to be able to ask questions. Why is this thing the way it is? Why is this thing the way it is? Why do we have to do it this way? Why can we not do it this way? If we try to do it this way, what would happen? What are the pros and cons of doing it this way? Okay, so you must continue to ask questions. You must be a curious mind. You must be curious. How can I find the answer to this problem? What can I do around me that can help me earn money? What business can I do right now with 20,000 naira that I have that can make me money? So you are thinking, before you know it, you are generating new ideas, you are generating solutions. Remember that it's not just one answer, it's different things, different ideas. You're bringing it together, and before you know it, you come up with one genius idea. Now, you challenge old ideas. You know how a lot of people like, oh, this is the way it has always been. Okay, why has it always been that way? Nobody can give you an answer, but it has always been that way. You are not afraid to challenge status quo. You're not afraid to challenge what has always been. You are not afraid to do big things, to do new things, to try new things. You're not afraid to fail. That's somebody who thinks in a divergent way. You learn from mistakes. You're not afraid to make mistakes. And then you now learn from your mistakes. Because mistakes are not the end. Mistakes help you to find better ways to do something. You mix ideas together. Sometimes you combine two different ideas to give you a fresh new solution. Okay, and whenever you hit a snag in the road, you are thinking, you recalibrate, you refocus your mind and say, okay, if I need to get from A to B, what is the best way to get there? Okay, if I cannot go in a straight line, how else can I go? Like what are the paths in front of me? How can I chart my paths to go from A to B? You give yourself time to dream. You spend time thinking and imagining without fear. Because fear is a limitation. You're not afraid to think, to imagine, to dream big. You make it as big, even when your dreams scare you, it still does not stop you from dreaming. That's somebody who is thinking divergently. Now, let's see some real examples of people who have been thinking divergently. See, Israel is mostly a desert, but scientists found a way to grow plants using very little water. So what did Israel do? Israel invented deep irrigation. The deep irrigation system that allows plants to be able to get water from their roots using very little water but maximum impact. And today, a desert exports fruits and vegetables to other countries. They didn't give up because of the desert. They walked with the desert. So what are the problems now that you need to think divergently to solve? What about food delivery in Lagos? Because of Lagos traffic, some food vendors started using bikes and mobile phones to deliver food. This made food delivery very popular, before it became a big trend. They turned a big problem, which is traffic, into a big opportunity. So what opportunity do you need to think divergently about? Remember, it's not just one big answer. It's a different mix of answers, different ideas coming together, to form a solution. Now, if you want to succeed today, you must learn to think differently. You cannot let this hard time. Yes, the times are hard. They are really hard. But in that, difficult times bet innovation. Difficult times bet innovation. You hardly get innovation when you are in your comfort zone. It is because of a problem. Problem births innovation. And so what are you thinking about? Okay, things are very, very hard. You don't have any money. Let that situation spoil you to start thinking, how can I improve my situation to be able to increase my earning power, to be able to do some things for myself? How can I stop being broke? What can I do around me? Even if it is selling as little as whatever it is, you can start from anywhere. The important thing is that you're not giving up. You're not staying in one place, and you're constantly thinking. And let me tell you, before you know it, God will give you that mighty idea that will spur you out of your present predicament. And so I implore you, write down your ideas, no matter how stupid they are. Like, there's no stupid idea. Let me not use that word. No matter how funny they sound, just write it down. Keep writing down. Keep writing. Keep thinking. And before you know it, you'll be so amazed at how much you have been able to think divergently, and how you have been able to think your way out of a problem. Thank you.